everybody, and welcome to this special on Venus transiting in Sagittarius. Hi everybody, I'm Amani. I'm a Karmic, holistic, astrological life coach, and I like to go in depth in all that I do, and all of my interpretations, especially when it comes to Venus, Mercury, Sun transits, and everything really, are based on Vedic Astrology, which is based on where the planets or the luminaries, which are the sun and the moon, are any given time in the sky, and all times are in GMT time as well. So yeah, thanks for listening, and yeah. So this year, Venus transits in Sagittarius from the 6th of November at 10:02 p.m. until the 2nd of December at 6:28 a.m. when Venus enters Capricorn. So in astrology, Venus represents our inner values, love, beauty, harmony and relationships. It also influences how we express and receive affection, our taste in art and beauty and social interactions the company we like to keep. It also can influence collective human behaviour by making us want to focus on creative or artistic plans, romantic sort of like date nights and just being more romantically expressive or more sensual, and wanting to just work with the earth as well, nurturing ourselves through gardening or enjoying the wind or the trees, and in order to create harmony in relationships, we need to create harmony within ourselves by focusing on our inner values, really thinking about what we really authentically want as a person, because a lot of the time our inner values are not based on our own thought processes but on what we are told to think by our societies, our nations, our religions, our parents, our friends, even our partners. So this energy really wants us on the esoteric level to get real about what it is we want in life, how we value our possessions as well, because Venus energy controls the second house as well, Taurus, in what ways are we inflexible or too stubborn and stuff like that as well. And ultimately it can just make us more cooperative, diplomatic and fair, and just have a deeper appreciation for aesthetics of all forms. So yeah, that's Venus energy. Oh yeah, just a few more things about Venus energy. Ultimately, esoterically, it's associated with our soul, our higher consciousness desires, and how we seek harmony and find balance in life. And as I said, it doesn't just signify romantic love, but also self-love and appreciation for beauty in all of its forms, and it just symbolises the journey towards understanding the deeper significance of relationships and personal values. And where Venus is in our birth chart, it can offer insights into our emotional needs, our relationship dynamics and our spiritual growth and potential. So now I'm going to talk about the astrological meanings, practical, financial, political, worldly, materialistic, social, collective meanings of Venus transiting in Sagittarius. So on the holistic level, when Venus is in Sagittarius, we can find ourselves drawn to exploring new things and want more adventure in our relationships and our values as well. So we may just, think outside of our box. We can seek to improve our values, re-question them. It also encourages us to have the spirit of openness and the thirst for new knowledge, pushing us to seek connections that expand our horizons rather than just sticking in our comfort zone, so we can feel inspired to engage in discussions about philosophy, culture or travel, and this can lead to enriching experiences and new friendships for some of you. Ultimately, embrace the spontaneity that comes, especially in our romantic plans, even if it's date night with yourself. And I didn't mean to say that even if you just date dating yourself, because dating yourself can be a pleasurable experience. Just thinking about how you can bring more excitement into your life and how you can break free from routine and explore the world with more of a sense of wonder and openness. So practically, even though I'm going to go more in depth about this is just sort of like the summary of all the things I'm going to talk about in a short while. So on the practical level, it can influence our financial decisions. It pushes us to invest in experiences rather than material possessions right now. Spending quality time with yourself and others, and you may feel an inclination to support causes or projects that resonate with your beliefs and that reflect a broader understanding of wealth that transcends, monetary gain or egotistically look at me, I've got this, you ain't got that sort of thing, but just thinking about, what wealth truly means, because, a lot of the time people get money and they're not happy. True wealth is happiness, and especially as time goes on, it's looking after your physical, emotional, spiritual and psychological health, because without that, we can't do anything else. We can't work effectively, we can't enjoy what we're having. So it's really important to think about what wealth is and what it truly means to you. Politically and socially, it can bring a focus on ideals of freedom, equality and cultural diversity. We can feel more compelled, to advocate for issues that promote a more inclusive society, and we may start discussions that challenge conformity to status quo traditions, and we can also be inspired or inspire others to think beyond conventional boundaries. So now I'm just going to talk a bit more about the practical implications of Venus in Sagittarius. So as I said, it encourages us to engage with different groups than what we normally engage with, and ideas as well. And by doing this, we can feel like we can grow, we can flourish under this energy, and it really wants us to connect with people who resonate with our authentic values and beliefs, not just what people have told us to believe. As I said, it's a good time to network, create new alliances through shared interests, maybe in travel, culture or philosophical decisions, or by appreciating the beauty in nature or simple things, cooking, food. Well, cooking is food, drinks, gardening, sensuality. It gives us the energy to work with others in creative or educational sort of like settings, and it allows us to blend our passions with practical plans. And as we explore these new social landscapes, we can truly enrich our understanding of the world if we're open to new experiences. And because this transit encourages us to prioritise experiences that add value to your life rather than just accumulating material possessions, you may find yourself more interested in the quality time that's spent with others rather than spending lots of money on date nights, taking them here, there and everywhere. Just the simplicity of just being in each other's company may really do it for you right now. It can also make us feel more generous with our time and other resources, our energy, motivating us to contribute to causes that align with our ideals. But we have to strike a balance between adventure and financial responsibility, ensuring that our explorations do not lead to imprudent spending, overindulging, stuff like that. Also, in terms of finances, it wants us to sort of like invest in things that align with our personal values and a broader worldview, such as funding educational activities or supporting businesses that promote cultural or ethical practices. And rather than just spending on having a good time, really invest in yourself. What skills do you want to upgrade? Maybe some of you may want to go to spiritual courses or go online and buy yourself a course or something like that. We can just be more likely to spend on experiences that enrich our life right now, rather than merely, seeking material gains. And this shift in focus can lead to unique opportunities that increase both our financial portfolio and our personal development, or our spiritual or psychological development. Some of you may decide to seek therapy or something else that can enrich you and help you balance the needs of your physical, emotional, spiritual and financial needs, and as well as your psychological. So our approach to finances may become more adventurous in terms of we may spend on things we wouldn't spend on, like our self-development and stuff. It pushes us to explore unconventional financial avenues or riskier investments, but it's essential to exercise caution. Only gamble what you can afford to lose, or that you feel like you really want to do this thing. Don't just recklessly waste all your money. Make sure you check all details. Don't be inspired by get rich quick schemes and that, but ultimately it empowers us to take calculated risks that might bring significant rewards. It also wants us to engage in communities that share our interests and seek advice from like-minded individuals or financial advice as well. And working with others can open doors to insights and opportunities that you may have not considered before. And by balancing your quest for adventure with a more thoughtful strategy, this can be beneficial and help you make the most of this energy's potential for financial growth and stability. In terms of the political effects, it can just make us more enthusiastic and idealistic, as I said earlier, and public discussion can become more focused on themes of freedom, equality and social justice, and a shared vision of a better society. And this can just kind of energize us, and this can lead to a resurgence of grassroots movements and a greater emphasis on policies that promote inclusivity and cultural diversity, as said earlier, but not just lip service, actually wanting to implement and see changes, trying to hold our leaders and organisations responsible. And by engaging in topics such as inclusivity and equality and freedom, we can deepen our understanding of, the political landscape, scene, whatever, and it can encourage us to advocate for changes that resonate with our values and help others as well. And it can also encourage, nations to be more diplomatic and work together. There can be a greater willingness among leaders and organisations to, engage in dialogue and seek solutions rather than just go to war. And also there can be a focus on issues such as humanitarian crises, and we've got a lot of those in the world right now, and climate change and stuff like that. And as the collective mindset can turn towards expansion and optimism, we can just feel pushed to really talk about initiatives that promote cross-cultural understanding and cooperation, and it can just bring a sense of unity in our families, within ourselves, and it just reminds us of the importance of collaborating, whether it's with collaborating with all your different personality traits, or with your partners, or friends, family, whatever. And how important it is to address the complex challenges that are facing society in a holistic manner. So on the worldly, materialistic, social, collective level, as mentioned, the social scene during Venus's transit through Sagittarius can just become more vibrant, and then people can just take more interest, as said, in other people's ways of thinking, spirituality, philosophical outlooks and perspectives, and it can just lead to an exchange in ideas, culture, religions, whatever, and more exploration. And discussions may centre around themes of travel, philosophy and arts, and as I said, pushing us to connect with people we don't normally connect with. And it can just instill a sense of optimism about our relationships, as we can find that bonds that we create or existing bonds can become more meaningful and aligned with our desire for more growth and freedom and acceptance as well. And from a worldly materialistic viewpoint, this transit can stimulate economies associated with travel, education and cultural experiences, because as I said, it wants us to broaden our horizons. So people may spend more on these things right now, so we can observe a rise in tourism, and international markets can gain our interest more as people explore new destinations and engage with different cultures, as I said. And this flourishing of experiences can lead to innovative business ventures and collaborations that prioritize ethical practices and social responsibility. So as we navigate this energy, consider how our own activities, the things we do day to day, our habits, our thoughts, our words, align with the greater collective need for change and balance, recognizing that our actions can contribute to a more interconnected and compassionate world if we stay open to it. So now I'm going to talk about the psychological, spiritual, esoteric, the hidden, symbolic, mythological and the creative emotional meanings of Venus in Sagittarius. So on the psychological level, because we can experience a shift, a change in our desires and values, we may feel an increased sense of curiosity about different cultures and philosophy, and this can lead to us exploring relationships that challenge our worldview, expand our horizons, and this is exactly what we want. Our approach to love and connection may become more spontaneous and open-minded, creating a sense of freedom and optimism in our relationships. On the deeper psychological level, it can stimulate a desire for authenticity and truth in our relationships, and we may just find ourselves questioning past attachments and seeking connections that offer genuine intellectual and emotional stimulation. And it just encourages us to embrace the unknown, allowing us to release outdated patterns, especially in our thought, action and words, and just do things that just make us grow. And it can just make us more creative and just feel more happy on an emotional, psychological and spiritual level right now, as we seek out values that align with our authentic self. On the spiritual level, it encourages us to do things that uplift our soul, our higher consciousness. And although this energy can push us to explore in the external world, in our relationships, it also wants us to explore our inner spiritual, emotional, psychological landscape, and sort of engage with diverse philosophies or spiritual practices that give you new insights and just create a sense of connectedness to the greater universe. And as we venture into unfamiliar territory, we may find that our understanding of love, beauty and connection becomes more enriched and can expand our capacity for compassion and empathy. And the universe can just push us to break free from self-imposed limitations and societal conventions and expectations as well, but really looking at the toxic thoughts you're allowed to live in your head, the self-destructive habits you do. And a lot of us struggle with addiction and stuff, so this is not the same or anything like that, because it can be hard to change. It can take years, decades even, but this energy just wants us to, make a stance, make a plan, really think, go within ourselves and see how we can break ourselves outside of our comfort zone and challenge our beliefs by, maybe thinking about travel or studying. And this quest for knowledge and understanding can raise our spirit and increase our relationships with others as we share transformative experiences and embrace the spirit of adventure, recognizing that each encounter and exploration can contribute to our soul's growth. So on the symbolic level, it wants us to dig into the hidden meanings that have shaped your personal myths and narratives this lifetime. The archetype of Sagittarius is an adventurous spirit and a quest for truth, and it's represented by a half man, half horse centaur figure. So it's about working with the material and the ethereal as well, the supernatural and the natural, and it really wants us to dig into the deeper layers of our consciousness and experiences and relationships, wanting us to reassess the stories we tell ourselves about love and connection and the world in general. And by doing this, by self-reflection, we can reveal how these narratives influence our self-perception and interactions with others. And by recognising the symbolic messages in your experiences, you can uncover patterns that have previously gone unnoticed, providing a richer context for your life journey. And we find ourselves and our personal myths more infused with the themes of philosophical, intellectual or spiritual, religious inquiry, exploration and the quest for more authenticity and adventure. And it really invites us to rewrite our old narratives, especially when it comes to giving and receiving love, that no longer resonate with you, and it empowers you to craft, develop a more expansive, fulfilling story. Maybe you've been telling yourself that we all do after some heartbreak, or no one can ever love me and stuff. No, people can love us, but a lot of people are buried under psychological, emotional, spiritual trauma, and this is what's happening. And as someone who used to take things personally, not to victim blame or anything, I don't as much no more. Like, I understand if people are doing certain things, like the T-set says, hurt people, because people that are more balanced within and have worked through their trauma do not normally typically go out their way to hurt others, or won't intentionally or even unintentionally hurt others. So basically, I'm saying this to say that a lot of times when people hurt us, it is horrible when we need to heal. But if we allow ourselves to heal, become more alert to red flags and aware of the world, we can pick the right partners instead of always picking the wrong ones that reinforce the narrative we can never be loved and stuff like that. And it just serves to remind us that the symbols and meanings that we attach to our experiences can impact our emotional, psychological and spiritual outlook. And by engaging with the underlying symbolism of your life, you can develop, cultivate a deeper understanding of your authentic desires and values, and this can just lead to a more authentic expression of love, especially self-love, because the esoteric meaning of Venus is love ourselves first and become right within, and this is how we can attract the right types of relationships to us, because we'll be able to see through the toxic, we'll be able to tell the difference between love and lust, for instance, or attraction and longevity. So in terms of our emotions and creativity, it can just make us more enthusiastic about our creative and emotional expression right now. And because we can be more spontaneous, this can unlock our creative potential, and it motivates us to experiment with different artistic forms and styles and different creativity expressions as well. And our emotions can be increased, and as we express our feelings through art, music or writing, we can infuse our work right now with a sense of adventure and hope and faith, because this is what Sagittarius energy is. It encourages us to embrace optimism even when the external world is crazy, and it's so crazy, but and by building that world within and having more of a philosophical, spiritual, even religious perspective on life, we can deepen our connection with our higher self. And just being open to self-reflection and going within can just bring a renewed sense of purpose, clarity and energy in your creative plans and your emotional healing journey, and it wants us to open ourselves up to a world of possibilities, allowing our creativity to flourish and grow, alongside, having that push to gain a deeper understanding of the world and ourselves as well. On the esoteric level, it wants us to dig into the deeper layers of our connection with love and beauty through a lens of higher wisdom and exploration. And because this phase embodies the quest for truth and authenticity in our relationships, pushing us to seek connections to resonate with our core values and beliefs, and maybe for some of you, letting go of the ones that don't, this can lead to encounters that challenge our perceptions and encourage spiritual growth. And it wants us to transcend superficiality and recognize love as a transformative force that transcends, base desires and attraction and lust. It pushes us to seek experiences that contribute to our soul's evolution and higher consciousness growth, and to merge our intellect and intuition, especially in our romantic plans as well. And the fiery energy of Sagittarius encourages us to create a playful approach to love that can break down barriers and preconceived notions and ideas, and it can just want us to tap into the deeper truth of the interconnectedness of all beings and all things on this earth plane and beyond. So so now I'm going to talk about the aspects that Venus makes as it goes into Sagittarius this year and how they influence us. So we've got Venus making a biquintal to Mars, Venus opposing Jupiter, and Venus making a quincunx to Uranus. So first I'll deal with these. So the biquintal to Mars allows us to have that passion and creativity in our relationships, be more original as well. We may be more playful, more flirtatious, and this is good. But Venus's opposition to Jupiter means that we can encounter challenges, we can overindulge and do too much and excessively push ourselves to, just do things we may not really want to do. So although, we have to reassess our desires and boundaries and think about what we truly desire, because a lot of the times what we have come to believe we're interested in, it's not what we're really interested in. So it's essential to strike a balance between enjoying life and maintaining control over our emotions and attachments right now. And the quincunx to Uranus helps us to be more social, but it also brings unpredictability in our social interactions, which is good because, Venus in Sagittarius wants us to break free from our conventional expectations and stale and toxic relationships as well. It supports us in having a fresh perspective, but also it can bring tension and misunderstandings if people struggle to adapt to you not wanting, I don't want to say not wanting to be friends with them anymore, but wanting change, but we just have to be mindful of the need for open communication, speak your truth, and also, respect that other people may speak their truth and it may not be what you want to hear too. Also, Venus makes a square to Neptune, Venus makes a trine to Chiron, and Venus makes a sextile square to the Ascendant, and Venus makes a trine to the Midheaven. So Venus is square to Neptune. Neptune energy can always bring confusion and deception. This aspect is bringing confusion into our romantic plans, and this can lead to us ignoring red flags and having idealistic expectations that can cloud our judgment. So it's very important to ask the right questions and don't assume anything. We may find ourselves attracted to people who embody an illusion of fantasy rather than reality. So, this reminds us to remain grounded and seek advice if need be. And also, disillusionment can arise, come up, if you ignore warning signs in relationships, as a lot of us do. So as I said, ask the right questions, try to avoid toxic relationships and escaping into drugs or alcohol or any other intoxicating habits that are ultimately going to make you feel worse, and try and face the writing on the wall, don't just run off into fantasy. Venus is trying to Chiron, helps us to heal, helps us to confront disillusionments that have come up, and if we're willing to face reality, this can lead to deeper emotional understanding and growth. And if we embrace being vulnerable, This can allow us to address past wounds and create a more authentic connection with ourselves and others. The sextil square to the ascendant can cause friction between our inner desires right now and how we present ourselves to the world, because people may just want us to be who we've always been, and we may want to change, and this can bring moments of self-doubt and questioning our actions and our values right now. And this tension can prompt you to reassess your approach to relationships, which this energy wants us to do. So this supports that, and it also supports us in expressing ourselves more openly. So the trine to the midheaven can influence our career or public image, and it can just make us have more authenticity and purpose in our professional life as we find the right blend between balancing our emotional and professional lives right now. And if we're willing to be who we really are, we can really enrich our life right now. Also, at the time of Venus going into Sagittarius, there's a grand water trine between Mercury in Scorpio, the North Node in Pisces, and Mars in Cancer at 18% orb. So positively, this can increase our ability to communicate our feelings more honestly, which is good. Mercury in Scorpio helps us articulate not just only our desires but also our ambitions and goals, and this can create connections that are both meaningful and transformative, or transform existing connections as we speak our truth. The nurturing energy of Mars in Cancer can also support us in expressing our affection and creating a sense of security while allowing ourselves to be more open-minded and adventurous. And it's really a good energy to help us with our romantic plans and having shared experiences with others. But the emotional intensity of this grand trine can lead us to overindulge, so we really have to watch out for this, because Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter spends everything. We may want to do too much, so get overly attached to our opinions right now, or people and stuff like that. So we have to do our best to stay grounded. And the North Node in Pisces pushes us to connect with our spirituality more, and it can also make us escape as well, want to escape from real life as well, because we can feel overwhelmed by the intensity of feelings right now, especially regarding love and attraction. And this can create a conflict between our inherent desire for freedom and the depth of our emotional engagement right now. So it's important to find a balance between going after adventure, evaluating and elevating our relationships, and not having unrealistic expectations in love and new people, as if we do that we can become disappointed. So don't ignore the writing on the wall with that one. So now I'm going to talk about the karmic lessons, meanings, and what type of past life memories may come up when Venus is in Sagittarius. So karmic meanings and lessons related to love, relationships and values come to the forefront. It, as I said, can bring about deep reflection on our past actions and their consequences, and it encourages us to learn from our past experiences and make amends, changes when necessary. Past life memories and dreams can come up, and these can offer insights into unresolved issues that need attention in our present life, to do with how we accept and give love, our relationships and our values in general. And on the collective level, themes related to truth, expansion, growth, freedom in relationships may come up. It's a time for exploring new beliefs and philosophies around love and connection, as I said, as well as embracing diversity and cultural differences in a more open-minded way. Now I'm going to talk about how Venus in Sagittarius affects our family relationships, friendship, co-worker relationships, committed couples, hookups, singles and self-partnered relationships as well. So in terms of family relationships, they can benefit from a refreshing influx of candid, honest communication and a spirit of adventure. And because it pushes us to engage in open discussions, this can break down barriers that have previously got in the way of honest expression in your families. Families may find themselves sharing activities such as travelling together or trying new hobbies that create deeper connections and lasting memories. So the optimistic energy of Sagittarius can inspire a sense of togetherness, pushing family members to explore new ideas and perspectives together, which can further increase understanding and compassion. But negatively, the adventurous nature of Sagittarius, with its desire for independence and restlessness that can be caused among family members, can sort of lead to people feeling overwhelmed, especially those who may not want to leave the comfort zone and the norm of the family relationship, and this can lead to misunderstandings. And because conversations can take on a more philosophical, open turn, it can also spark debates or disagreements if differing values and beliefs come up. So it's important to balance the feel of exploration with sensitivity to each other's feelings, so that we can ensure that the adventurous spirit of Venus strengthens rather than put strains on family bonds. In terms of friendships, again, shared adventures and activities can make you feel closer and bring more enjoyment. Having fun outings together, whether through travel, sports or cultural events, can deepen bonds and create a sense of togetherness as well, and it can help you learn more about each other's personalities and goals, and this can build more trust and mutual support. But the jovial energy of Sagittarius, because it can inspire us to be more spontaneous, it can push us to step outside of our comfort zones and discover new dimensions within our relationships. But again, negatively, because it brings challenges related to commitment, it can also draw attention away from deeper emotional connections because of the need for newness and adventure. And some friends may find themselves not enjoying this or caught in a cycle of fleeting interactions, struggling to balance the desire for fun with the need for reliability and consistency. So people can become flaky, making plans and then not following through on them. And some individuals may feel neglected if others prioritise excitement over meaningful engagement, and this can cause further disagreements. So it's important to navigate the delicate balance between adventure and commitment to maintain healthy friendships right now. In terms of co-worker relationships, it can help us work together as it supports open communication, and teamwork can really thrive as we build more trust and togetherness. Team members can feel valued and supported, and more likely to share ideas, provide constructive feedback and work harmoniously towards common goals. And this supportive atmosphere not only can enrich productivity, but it can also make us feel more satisfied at work as employees develop stronger interpersonal connections that can lead to lasting professional relationships. But negatively, it can add to distractions and misunderstandings as people want more fun and excitement, and people can just not have their eye on the ball sort of thing. And minor distractions such as noise or frequent interactions, people can be a lot chatty Cathy right now, and this can lead to upset and miscommunication and conflict. Also, the differences in work styles and personalities can cause further friction and impact teamwork. So it's important to nurture co-worker relationships, but also remain vigilant about potential distractions and strive for clear communication to mitigate misunderstandings. So in terms of committed couples, it can just make us feel more spontaneous, and growth within them is really encouraged with this energy through shared adventures, new experience, and this can deepen your bond and create a sense of connection and excitement. It wants you to explore interests while also nurturing the relationship, so exploring interests as a couple, as individuals, and this can lead to personal development and mutual understanding. But On the negative end, as each partner embraces their own passions and pursuits and experiences right now, this can lead to imbalance and restlessness, and different priorities can come up, leading to challenges in maintaining alignment in your goals and desires, and the excitement of spontaneity can sometimes clash with the need for stability, further adding to the tensions that require careful kind of navigation. So it's important to balance your individual goals with partnership right now, and to engage in honest and open communication and address any feelings of disconnection and neglect honestly. Because if left unaddressed, these differences can escalate, causing frustration and misunderstandings. So prioritising honest discussions about your needs and goals is really important right now to grow individually and together and enrich your relationship. And also, make sure you take time out, date night romance, yes, be an individual, but if you're in a couple, be a couple as well. But also be mindful that sometimes we need space and stuff like that, and try not to take that personally, because solitude can be really important for personal growth and reflection as well. In terms of hookup relationships, it can bring a spark of passion that can become a thrilling escape right now, and it can also bring excitement that may be hard to resist right now, because Venus in Sagittarius encourages us to be more adventurous, and this can lead to spontaneous connections that can feel liberating and compassionate, and we can just find ourselves drawn to the feel of new partners and seduced by the lure of fleeting experiences right now, which can catalyse intense but short-lived romances. So just if you are in a committed relationship, watch out for that. You may think, I'm a bit bored in a committed relationship, let's have a hookup, but this can backfire. Also, if you're single and self-partnered, watch out as well. Make sure you make an informed decision. But ultimately, it can bring more freedom and exploration and playfulness to hookups right now. But negatively, because the very nature of hookups often means they may lack emotional depth and long-term commitment. So while the physical attraction and excitement can be really alluring and palatable and like, oh yeah, please more, the absence of deeper emotional connection can lead to feelings of emptiness once the initial thrill fades. So as partners, prioritize passion over permanence, commitment, non-lasting things. You may find yourself struggling with a sense of disconnection or dissatisfaction as the novelty wears off, So we just have to make sure that recognising whether the pursuit, going after transient pleasures, short-lived pleasures, ultimately serves your emotional, spiritual, and psychological needs, or do they leave you longing for something more substantial and committed, but you may be denying it to yourself? So yeah, lots of food for thought there. So those who are single can find that they have a desire for freedom, and this can overshadow your need for romantic connections, and you may prefer to focus on your individual journeys right now and self-growth as well. But negatively, the self-focus can make you miss meaningful relationships right now, miss a good chance, because the energetic and adventurous spirit of Venus in Sagittarius may lead to a transient mindset that prioritizes short-lived interactions over deeper bonds as well. So feeding back into what I said about hookups, and while the allure, the thought of independence is strong, it can sometimes create an emotional barrier that gets in the way of developing lasting connections. So just, if you want to work on yourself, but also, be real with your need to wanting that deeper connection as well, and also not letting the search for excitement and novelty, for those of you who think, I just want something short term, distract you from the vulnerability needed to create genuine intimacy. And if you allow yourself to be distracted, it can make it difficult for you to establish relationships that resonate on a deeper level. So yeah, as you navigate Venus in Sagittarius, you may experience moments of loneliness or disconnect, realising that while independence is fulfilling, the human desire for connection and understanding remains, and that's okay. It's okay to want to reach out to others. So now I'm going to talk about how Venus in Sagittarius affects our career, personal, spiritual, educational, self-partner development. So in terms of our career growth, because it pushes us to explore new things, networking can become really fruitful, good, as it draws like-minded individuals to you, and this energy allows you to feel optimistic about your career in general. And we just can find ourselves inspired by different cultures and philosophies right now, leading to creative breakthroughs that can increase your professional life and advancement, but negatively, because it brings a sense of restlessness, it can make it challenging for you to commit to long-term projects, and you may feel drawn to taking risks or seeking unconventional paths, which can lead to instability or distractions if not managed carefully. So balance this desire for exploration with the focus on your current responsibilities is key. Do not blow your whole house down, In terms of personal development, it can bring opportunities related to love, relationships, creativity and self-expression. We can feel more open-minded and optimistic, as I said, and this can lead to personal breakthroughs and new experiences that contribute to your lifelong development. But negatively, you may become overly idealistic or restless, and this can lead to a lack of focus or commitment to your personal development plans, and conflicts related to values or beliefs can come up as well, challenging you to reevaluate your priorities and growth. So the key to navigating this energy is to embrace the positive aspects while being mindful of the challenges as well, and just being open to growing and having a balance in perspectives. And this is how you can make the most of this energy for your personal development, by staying grounded, open-minded and choosing your interests wisely. So in terms of spiritual development, we can find that we are encouraged to seek deeper truths and broaden our belief systems, and we may feel a strong pull towards exploring diverse philosophies and practices right now, or spiritual communities on or offline that expand your understanding of the universe. It inspires us to engage in activities like meditation, retreats, workshops or travel, cultivating a sense of adventure in our spiritual journey. And the uplifting energy of Sagittarius can increase our enthusiasm for personal growth, allowing us to embrace new ideas and experiences that resonate with our core values. But on the flip side, it can challenge our spiritual path, as the quest for knowledge and freedom can lead to distraction or superficial explorations right now. And we can just find ourselves questioning long-held beliefs or ideals without fully grounding our insights, or just getting lots of information and be like, oh, this is what I believe now, without doing the deeper research which is needed in the day-to-day incorporation of these new beliefs into your daily thoughts, words and actions. And we just need to watch out for the restlessness that can come up. As I said, that can just mean that we're going from one spiritual practice to another, preventing us from integrating with what we really want to learn right now. So it's important to use the positive aspects of this energy while remaining committed and disciplined in your approach to spiritual development, ensuring that you are not just seeking novelty but also depth and meaning. In terms of our educational development, it can create a strong desire for exploration in our learning. We may find ourselves drawn to subjects that ignite a sense of passion and curiosity in us, leading us to pursue courses or workshops that expand our horizons right now. And as I said, Sagittarius, Venus here encourages a thirst for knowledge that is not just academic but also experiential. So engaging with diverse cultures, different people on your courses, if you attend a course that you wouldn't normally engage with, or engage in philosophies and ideas that you wouldn't normally engage with, or techniques to learning or seeking information. Is really good to increase your intellectual world right now. But negatively, the desire for freedom and variety can lead to a scattered focus, making it difficult for you to commit to any single area of study, and you may feel tempted to jump from one topic to another, which can get in the way of in-depth learning which is needed, because Sagittarius rules the 9th house, our higher mind. So we just have to make sure that we are raising our consciousness and meeting the needs of this energy, and just watch out for overindulging in social or recreational activities which divert your attention away from your academic responsibilities right now. So the best use of this energy is to be adventurous but also disciplined as well. So in terms of self-partnered relationship, it wants you to explore new facets, parts of your identity, and develop a more profound love for yourself. And you may try new activities or hobbies that resonate with your authentic self, reinforcing your self-esteem and expanding your sense of personal happiness right now. It wants you to break free from limiting beliefs, behaviours, relationships and actions, and engage in practices that elevate your self-worth, self-acceptance, awareness and forgiveness. But negatively, because it brings a restless sort of spirit that craves constant stimulation right now, this can lead to feelings of dissatisfaction with your own self-exploration, especially if it doesn't bring you immediate results. You can be, I'm reading this book or listening to this podcast or doing this and that, and I'm not getting what I need right now. Remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint, and try not to also neglect your self-care and routines and personal development goals, because this energy can make us do that, and it can just make it hard to establish or stick to your routine right now, especially the things that you do that nurture your overall well-being. And it can lead you to having unrealistic expectations about your self-growth journey, and this can cause frustrations if your aspirations, your visions, exceed your current reality. But if you're willing to work towards your goals, remember, the world wasn't built overnight, so just try and be gentle with yourself and give yourself praise for the efforts that you have already made in your life to better yourself and to love on yourself. So now I'm just going to talk about the best activities for creatives, professionals, entrepreneurs, alternative healers, lovers, singles and self-partnered people to do when Venus is in Sagittarius. So creatives, explore new creative expressions such as travel photography, even if it's just your daily commute, taking pictures or whatever, or experimental projects as well. Professionals should use this, as I said, to attend workshops and networking events and to seek out new perspectives. Entrepreneurs should launch new business ideas or brainstorm them and think about expanding into new, even international markets. Alternative healers can find success by incorporating teachings from different cultures or exploring holistic practices from around the world to incorporate into their own healing and their clients' healing journeys. Lovers can plan spontaneous trips or engage in activities that stimulate intellectual conversations and growth. Singles can embrace their independence and use this time to focus on their personal growth. And self-partnered people may find joy in solo travel adventures, engaging in activities that bring them a sense of freedom and love and exploration. So now I'm just going to conclude with the overall positives, negatives and the best use of Venus in Sagittarius. So positively, because this energy brings adventure to matters of the heart and our personal values, it can inspire us to seek out new experiences, explore different things and be more honest and have the love for freedom in our interactions with others. But negatively, because we can be restless and have a desire for constant change. This can lead to instability in our relationships and within our emotional, psychological and spiritual selves. To make the best use of this energy, embrace the spontaneity, excitement, and be open-minded and seek experiences that bring you joy, but also stay grounded and do your research as well. And it's really a good time to engage in activities that promote learning, travel and philosophical discussions with loved ones or new people. So okay, so that's the end of this special on Venus transiting in Sagittarius. Take care and see you next time.